Influenced by the rock band Soundgarden, the Madison Scout show combines an energetic combination of musical styles, sounds, and visual textures to create and cultivate a blooming garden of sound. And we have this gigantic roly prop that is used to portray that combination. Something that could have improved this show a little bit was if the speakers on that prop, if they were actual speakers making actual sound, although I'm sure that would be a sound designer's nightmare a little bit. But well, this whole list is all my opinion, and if you disagree with me, then make sure you get really mad and compose in the comments. But I did find the music in this show very interesting, and I especially liked the screaming trumpet soloist throughout the whole show. Will AI have the ability to be truly creative in the future? Can human creativity and the future of AI work together to take us to places we have never been before? Personally, I don't think so. But Genesis was able to do it here, so maybe. This show is basically a show about how to design a show, and it came equipped with some wonderful drum corps antics and inside jokes.
What is the difference between a top 12 drum corps and a bottom 12 drum corps? It doesn't matter. The Blue Devils are most likely going to win anyway.
I feel like some of these DCI shows you need like a doctorate degree in psychology and a master's in fine arts to figure out what is happening. And it appears that most of you agree with that, as only 4% of you claim to understand every single show concept. But that was not the case here with Genesis. I thought this show kept it simple and to the point, and I was able to follow it and understand it completely on the first watch, and I like that. Showing some love for the open class here, the Columbians portray the experience of fear. Oh yes, I love the dark shows. Those are my favorite kind of shows. Represented by wraps of chains, it grips the members as fear is as personal as it is constricting. There were actually a lot of very good open class shows this year, and this is not the only one that made it into my top 20 list. The Columbians fought their way into this video just like how they fought their fears and broke the chains that bind them. Sol and Luna, also known as the Sun and the Moon. The premise behind this show is the constant love affair between the Sun and the Moon, and how there is only once in a great while where they get to be together. Ah yes, the greatest long-distance relationship ever. Unlike most DCI relationships which end in the Lucas Oil Stadium parking lots. This show all comes together at the end with an eclipse on the center stage. A very interesting and well-designed show from Academy this year. The Crossmen take us on a journey to explore the physical and emotional edge, a phenomenon that exists between individuals and groups, places, and things. We travel to the edge, challenge the edge, and push beyond the edge on the winding road that leads to your door. I certainly enjoyed the musical selections of this show. Here is the list of what was played. Definitely an interesting and thought-provoking show from Bones this year.
Away.
Here we are overcoming restraint and the personal struggle to become unharnessed from that which holds us back. Ah yes, another dark theme. Very good. My favorite part of the show has to be the pitch-changing bass feature. That was really, really cool sounding. Yes, this was a very fun show overall. However, I really wanted more of that bass drum, pitch bendy, and pots and pans feature. That was like definitely a very cool part, and it went by really fast and never came back to it. Nonetheless, the Blue Knights, they were able to tear down their restraints and finally become unharnessed. Bizarre, illogical, contradicting, strange, unfamiliar, and intriguing. Some of my favorite adjectives right there. The Spartans explore the techniques of surrealist artists and the unbridled imagination of the subconscious. We had all kinds of variety in the props and the musical styles performed throughout this show. And I definitely liked the arrangement of Tragic Kingdom for their closer. A very intriguing show indeed from our open class world champions. Congratulations to the Spartans. Not gonna lie, this one took me a few rewatches to grasp what is happening with the storyline. Also, the Blue Stars, they didn't have any public information that I could find about this show design, so here's what I thought of it. Absinthe is a dangerously addictive psychoactive drug and hallucinogen. These spoons and sugar cubes are all around the floor. They represent the consumption of the drug, and the show spirals out of control from there. Don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are bad, okay? Although I did enjoy the psychedelic trip of this show. We all turned from purple to green, which apparently that's what happens when you add sugar into absinthe. The snare hi-hat feature was definitely a very cool segment of this. And the color guard sliding down the spoons while doing very big tosses, that was pretty epic. This show was quite fun, definitely very quirky, and entertaining overall. Before we get into our top 12, I want to give a few honorable mentions to some cores that were very close to getting on this list. Inspired by Cirque du Soleil, hey, I auditioned there and never got a call back. This variety show depicts different aspects of those words up, down, and all around to offer a variety of emotions throughout the production. I found their use of prop staging and musical selections to be very interesting throughout the show, and I definitely want to give a huge congratulations to Spirit of Atlanta for coming back strong after taking off the 2022 season. That is definitely a difficult obstacle to overcome. And you guys came back with a great production, one of my favorites of the year, and in this reality you guys made it into finals, so congratulations to you. Another strange, dark, and mysterious show delivered in marching arts format, Gold tells the story of one person controlling our every move. And we learn when that one person is overthrown, a new set of hands will rise, and the process begins again. I certainly appreciated the creepiness of the show, both musically and visually, and I gotta say I really enjoyed the top of the open class this year. A lot of these open class groups, you can't even distinguish them from some of the world class groups. They're doing great things. And in the EMCProductions universe of reality, Gold is a top 12 finalist, so good job guys. I'm very proud of you. The word home means something different for everyone. The Colts look to explore what connects people back to home with their 2023 production, Where the Heart Is. Ah yes, very touching. I am pretty sure that they changed the props every single show so that this ending was in the location of the performance venue. So here we end with Dome Sweet Dome in Indianapolis. Ah yes, very clever drum corps jokes here. However, I was kind of surprised that the members actually shared their actual addresses in the show.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Warm Creek Drive, Birmingham, Alabama.
That one actually doesn't exist. I looked them all up. But the other three addresses that are clearly audible at the beginning, those are actual residential houses. I feel like they all should have just used fake addresses rather than, sharing their personal contact info with thousands of strangers. But well, I'm definitely gonna send some fan mail to those addresses because this show was fantastic. It is definitely great to see the Colts organization on the rise year after year. This show portrays the story of the rise and fall of a champion athlete and the spirit of excellence, energy, and athletic strength that the cadets have long sought to embody. This is told through the analogy of the Atlas character, a Greek titan who is eternally lifting the sky above the earth and is often pictured in art on one knee holding a globe on his back. When I first saw the cadets early season, I honestly thought that these shorts were just rehearsal shorts because they didn't get their band pants in time. But no, these are the actual uniforms that they were wearing, and it does make sense with the show, and they must be very comfy-wumpy for the members. Overall, this was a very inspirational and enjoyable show, one of my favorites for sure. The now 21-time world champion Blue Devils put on another amazingly clean performance this year, winning Best General Effect, Best Visual, Best Color Guard, and, well, Best Overall. Gold medal. Let's go. Most people seem to have a hard time grasping what this show was about, but don't worry, I got you. The show is based on the artwork of Henry Matisse, and due to physical disability, he created a new art style where he would cut painted sheets into form of varying shapes and sizes, which he then arranged into lively compositions. The Blue Devil show is a musical and visual collage that celebrates environmental installation with shape, sound, and texture. Thank goodness the Blue Devils posted all that information on their website, because I would have never got that if I had to just figure it out myself. Epic performance, epic execution, first place in real life. Congratulations, Blue Devils. This show is a modern retelling of the fabled legend of King Arthur's vision to create a kingdom where justice, harmony, and the noble principles of chivalry prevail. Here in Camelot, our flawed hero, the gallant Sir Lancelot, surrenders to the beauty of Queen Guinevere. Their love affair becomes a tale of secrecy and betrayal, igniting a spark that weakens Camelot and serves as a catalyst for his eventual downfall. A very exciting story and some great music overall, as always, from Crown. Their brass section once again killed it, winning Best Brass. This herald trumpet feature was extremely unique. The only thing I don't really get about this show is when the king gets stabbed through the heart and then he's fine 30 seconds later. I don't know, maybe I need to brush up on my historical folklore. Aside from that, I was very entertained by this show. For their 75th anniversary, the Cavaliers show is simple, to use moments throughout the Corps' history to make modern-day magic. Drum Corps fans will travel to familiar places from past shows that are woven into the framework of this year's soundscape. The sound design of this year's production will also pave the way for future sounds of the Cavaliers over the next 75 years. I'll make sure to rewatch this show in 2098 to make sure they did it right. Winning the High Percussion Trophy this year, this percussion section absolutely killed the show. There were so many great moments. We have perfectly clean Spock rolls, throwback to the Casey Claw, and some amazing front ensemble writing as well. This is basically a drummer's dream of a show here, so of course I'm gonna be a little biased, okay? The Cavaliers, you guys were great. Before we get to the top 5, I want to give a quick shout out to the United States Marine Corps Drum and Bugle Corps. I served in this unit until 2021, and these guys are sounding great as always. Good to see the Marines still going strong, and I loved the 10,000 drum 2 shots in the tenor feature. You guys are doing great. This show is based on William Blake's poem, The Garden of Love. Here it is if you want to pause and read it real quick. We are surrounded by soaring butterflies, blooming flowers, brilliant colors, green grass, or I guess green astroturf. And of course, the chapel.
A chapel was built in.
As usual, the Bluecoats have one of the most elaborate prop designs in the entire circuit. Very visually outstanding. And we can't talk about this show without mentioning the trombone feature. This was a very, very cool moment. Through our journey in the garden, we encounter death and tombstones where flowers should be, but the foreboding shadows fade and heartwarming lightness creep back into the garden. Once again, I am very impressed by the Bluecoats' wild show designs. They are always one of my favorite year after year. In fact, last year was my first place favorite show of 2022. And this year was another strong performance from the Bluecoats. Drawing inspiration from nature's wonders and the interplay between organisms, Exogenesis is a mesmerizing fusion of sight and sound. The Corps emerges amidst the vast expanse of a desolate space, their existence bringing a touch of vibrancy to the barren landscape, highlighting the interdependence and unity that exist among all living beings. Yes, a very exciting and thought-provoking show from Phantom. I really liked the music throughout this whole show, especially every single thing that the trombones played. It was very cool sounding. I also liked how the front ensemble, they were staged in a way that helped with the visual design of the show. That was very cool and also showed off the front ensemble a lot. Such a cool show package overall, definitely one of my favorites of the year. Inspired by their success in the 2022 season, making it back into finals for the first time since 2009, this year's program is about reaching high into the sky to achieve a distant goal, lassoing the sun. And this was yet another banger of a show from the Troopers. I absolutely loved their 2022 show, and I loved this one as well. This spinning sun is probably the coolest prop that has ever been used in a DCI show. And the use of a harmonica soloist was completely unexpected, and this sounded absolutely amazing. Since I started making these top 20 videos, the Troopers, they're the only drum corps that has always been in my top 3 favorite shows. You're doing great things out there, Troopers. I'm already looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with for next year's show. There was no rest for the wicked in this show. Inspired by Nina Simone's 1962 recording of Sinnerman, the Mandarins take us on a journey of good trouble. The fenced walls come closing in as if guilt is crushing us, but by the end, the fences are no longer a boundary, but a wall to conquer. This whole opening segment where it was like good versus evil, this really reminded me of Cadets, Angels, and Demons, which is also one of my favorite shows ever. But man, this show was absolutely epic. I loved how everybody turned evil throughout the whole show. And I definitely got a good kick out of this soundboard close-up for no reason during prelims. Flow Marching was trolling us all with that, I'm sure. And this whole show, I was wondering if anyone was gonna get in those spinny props and get flipped around, and I was not disappointed at all. These guys got spun around at insane speeds for an absolutely perfect ending to a great show. Nice job, Mandarins. The White Whale production is inspired by Herman Melville's great American novel Moby Dick. This is the story of Captain Ahab's self-destructive obsession with the white whale called Moby Dick. The story follows Ahab's manic drive to kill the whale, even as it endangers his crew. The Boston Crusaders had me absolutely drawn into this show right after the very first note. It was amazing, and the percussion section totally killed it. But my favorite part of this show has to be the tuba feature. I mean, who doesn't love a good tuba shanty, am I right? Finally, during our oceanic tale of mystery and wonder, the whale is spotted. It seems we have captured the great Moby Dick, but he fights back and shipwrecks the crew. This show also draws parallels to the white whale metaphor, chasing the seemingly unattainable, which would be a first place victory, but Boston came in fourth. But you came in first in my reality, Boston Crusaders. I loved the storytelling of this show. It kept me very entertained throughout the whole thing. 10 out of 10 storytelling, 10 out of 10 performance, my favorite show of the year. Well done, Boston. If you want to hear me talk about some more drum corps shows, you can click this video right here, and have a good morning.